St. Joseph's homeless now one shelter short. This morning, an area shelter forced to close its doors and remove all of their guests. KQ2's Kylie Thomas with why.
I'm standing here outside CAP's emergency shelter and the doors are locked. No one is here. What used to be a place to stay for those with nowhere else to go now sits completely empty, and it will stay that way for the next month.
It's impossible for us to continue providing consistent overnight care.
Those who called the shelter home just 24 hours ago now sitting outside Friday morning as 20 of St. Joe's homeless had to bag up their belongings and leave. A choice CAP St. Joe officials say they had no other choice but to make as lack of staffing forced the agency's hand.
There has been a significant staffing crisis. We have 3 staff and 1 supervisor. So that is obviously not enough to be able to do this consistently or safely.
Staff putting in 70 hours per week, operating with 5 times less staff needed to run the shelter, forcing to keep the doors shut for 30 days.
The guests, some took it better than others obviously.
Thankfully, guests will not be left to sleep on the streets. CAP providing overnight shelter through agency partnerships.
Community missions, we've partnered with them to where they're going to reopen what they typically call their cold weather shelter. People are still going to have shelter. What we're planning to do is through a variety of different partnerships to essentially just move to a different model. And that model will basically be an opportunity for us to try new things.
During the month-long shutdown, the shelter tasked with figuring out what it will be moving forward and how it can reopen its doors.
We're really just going to go back to the drawing board and see what is feasible and what is sustainable. We are committed to providing emergency shelter, so that, we have the funding for that. We won't stop doing that because we know it's an important part of our community. But we just have to find a different way to do it.
Reporting in St. Joseph, Kylie Thomas, KQ2 News.
For the homeless looking for shelter, CAP says they will continue to help individuals find a place to stay. For help finding overnight shelter, call 816-689-0150.